Hello and welcome to this first video for the Security Hazard blog. If you're not familiar with the Security Hazard blog, it's a place where I write about all the various works of the late film and television producer Gerry Anderson. He, of course, created a bunch of science fiction classics, including Thunderbirds, Stingray, Captain Scarlet, UFO, Space 1999, Terrorhawks, the list just goes on. Today, I would like to show you this. This is a video game called Kerbal Space Program, which basically what you do is you build spaceships. And the best part is you can fly them. This all takes place on the planet Kerbin, and this is you basically build space rockets for them and try to explore the universe. It's very good fun. And there are some people who can play this game properly. All very scientifically, and can fly all their vehicles to where they want them to go and land on the planet all very delicately and stuff. I'm not very good at that, but I do have fun building weird, wacky designs, taking them off. They usually crash, but you know, it's all good fun. So today I thought I would try and do a few different Gerry Anderson designs using all the various kit pieces that they provide. So fuel tanks, engines, control stuff, structural stuff, coupling stuff, you know, all the various different bits and pieces. And I'm going to build a few classic vehicles from the Gerry Anderson canon. And I thought we'd start off with Supercar because it's quite, you know, straightforward. We've got a runway out there that we're just going to take off along, and it's going to work very well. So, let's start. We're going to start with this cockpit, I think, shape for Supercar, because it's kind of got that canopy thing. Yeah, it kind of works. It's roughly the right shape. Then we want to kind of get a pointy end on the front. So let's get a fuel tank that's kind of the right... Yeah, that type of thing works just fine. Then we want to get some engines on it. Now, Supercar, you know, it had... I think like two main thrusters. Mike Mercury would always say fire 1 and fire 2. So I'm gonna guess we want basically two main thrusters. It had a few more sort of, you know, exhaust sticking out the back, but I think this will do for now. We'll get some jet engines. Yeah, I mean, you can get some bloody massive ones that stick out the back like that, but I think we'll go with the most, there we go, basic. I mean, those are quite small. Yeah, those are quite small, but they'll do. I think they'll do the job. So, then we want some wings. Supercar had the wings sticking out the back, which, who knows if aerodynamically that would work, but it's what we're going to try today. So we'll go for the winglets. Yes, little winglets, and they'll give us some control as well. Now, obviously, normally Supercar, the wings would fold in and out. We can't really do that. So it would probably be best to keep the wings sticking out. I'm not really sure how the heck it would fly without any wings at all, but apparently it could do that. Then if we get, those might be a bit, those are a bit big. Let's try something a bit smaller. That type of thing, yes. We'll stick that there. Then we just want to put some control surface. No, we'll leave that as it is. Then what we want to do is put a nose on the end of it, because we can't have it all stubby at the end like that. So what could we do for a nose? If we put that on there, and then if we take this thing, which is basically a thing that helps you control your craft and makes it a bit steady. It's a bit of a cheating system, to be honest. It keeps things stable and steady and means you don't crash quite so easily. So there we are. That's the basic Supercar shape. There's just one thing, well, a couple of things missing actually. We probably want to get some air intakes on there, seeing as these are jet engines. So let's go into aerodynamics. These things, you can stick them on the side quite easily. Like so. And for good measure, we'll stick a couple more over there. That gives you the rough... You got the rough Supercar shape. It's quite difficult to kind of recreate actual vehicles on this, but you know, we're pretty close. And then the other thing is, we're gonna need to stick some wheels on it. Now, I know the original Supercar did not have wheels. It could take off vertically, and that suited it just fine. It meant it didn't need wheels, it would just sit on its belly. But unfortunately, vertical takeoff with an aircraft like this is actually very difficult. So I'm just going to stick some wheels on. It'll run along the runway and take off like that. So just teeny, teeny, tiny little wheels on the bottom like that. And like that. And I think she's ready to have a bit of a fly. Shall we have a bit of a fly? Let's see how this goes. I mean, I'm not predicting great results, seeing as it's an airplane that I built. It may not work terribly well, but we can try. We can see how this is going to go. So we've got two crewmen here, Jebediah Kerman and Bill Kerman. I'm going to guess they're related. They're all related. They all have the same surname. Let's put the brakes on to start with. Doesn't have any brakes. The wheels don't have brakes, so it's just going to roll on forward. Doesn't have any air brakes either. We won't need those. Fire! Put the throttle up. The jet engines are working. There is air flowing through. They are, going forward. Quite a good speed. Wheeling along. We haven't got much ground clearance. Takeoff might be a little bit tricky. I may wait, actually, until we get all the way to the end of the runway. This is the Space Center, by the way, where all the good stuff happens. And this is a big, long runway. Big, long runway. Which we'll put to use later. We're going off the runway a bit now, so I'm going to have to try and take this thing off before it I was going to say before it crashes, but too late. Too late. Let's try again. Let's try launching it again, because I thought basically the design worked pretty well. It just needs tweaking here and there. Let's put the throttle up. Just need someone who could fly it properly, really. I mean, really, you need Mike Mercury in there. He'd know what to do. He'd make a few sarcastic comments. I do love Supercar. And I love the characters. And I love how sarcastic Mike Mercury is about everything. He's the first, and he's the only real Super Mario Nation character with a huge amount of sass. I think the only other sassy Super Mario Nation character possibly is Matthew from the Secret Service. Oh, come on, take off. No. Okay, that didn't work. We'll try one more time to keep it going in a straight line. And if that doesn't work, then we'll move on to something else. I think that's fair enough, really. We'll move on to something maybe a bit more spacey. That would probably be a good idea, seeing as we could fly to the moon. It's over there. We could fly there. Not in this, but, Well, the Supercar is supposed to travel in space, so it probably wouldn't have jet engines, to be honest. But jet engines are good for getting the speed up, and that's what Supercar's really famous for, is for being fast. I mean, maybe not this chunky, and maybe not on little wheels like that, but it's supposed to be fast. This is good. It's going in a straight line. It'll just shoot off the end of the runway, and we'll be able to fly it, and it'll work. It'll work. It'll be brilliant. It'll be the marvel of the age. That's what they call it. Here we go. Up, 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 up. You know what I forgot to do? No, I remembered. I turned it on. I turned on the stability. It's just a bit rubbish. Well, the Supercar doesn't fly. Let's try something else. So I'm now here in the rocket hangar. This is where you build rockets that go up into space. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build, of course, the classic Gerry rocket, Thunderbird 3. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with this command pod that's sort of shaped like this. It can hold a crew of 3, so there's room in there for Alan, Scott, and Tintin if she feels like coming along. Let's just stick a bit on the nose cone. Where would I find a nose cone? Let's have a look in aerodynamics. That would probably be a good place to look. Something like that. That looks a bit big, actually, and it won't stick on. Oh no, that's not... yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's make it tall. We need to go up because it's tall. Control, let's get a reaction wheel that helps to maintain stability, because I'm a rubbish pilot, let's be honest. You haven't actually seen me fly anything yet because I kept crashing the ruddy Supercar. We've got this big red rocket fuel. Is it rocket fuel? Yes, liquid fuel tank. It'll get us where we need to go. Let's have 2 of those because Thunderbird 3 is tall, I tell you. Okay. Then we need one of these at the bottom to get that kind of... No, we don't. We want structural. We want something like that to kind of join the two together. Then we stick that on. Perfect. Okay, well that's got the main shape. Then we need to get thrusters stuck on. So first of all, we'll get some of these, stick them all around, because there's 3 of them, so we have 3 like that. Splendid. Then we just want some thrusters, like, let's get these there. Right. Yeah, that'll, maybe a bit taller, than that. Let's have more of these. Yes. This is going to be quite heavy. I hope it takes off. Then we're going to need the most powerful thrusters that we can get. Max thrust. Yeah, those. Pretty powerful. Stick those on there. And then we're going to... Well, Thunderbird 3 famously has all those struts that hold it all together. So we're going to need to... Let's get a beam like that. And like that. And that'll do. And then we want to angle it. This is going to be tricky to do, but let's try it. We're going to angle it forward like that. And yes, this is working. And stick another one on the end like that. And it connects up. And then we're just going to need some strut connectors just to hold it all together, make it structurally not weird. My English just failed me there. But yes, there we go. Not weird. I mean, this is pretty weird, but it'll work. It's gonna fly, and that's the main thing. We're gonna have a rocket. It's gonna go up. It might get as far as space. Let's see if it goes as far as space like this. I think you'll agree. It looks a bit like Thunderbird 3. It's not totally dissimilar to Thunderbird 3, is it? No. There she is, looking beautiful. We've got Jebediah, Bill, and Bob taking over from Alan Scott and Tintin for this week. Let's fire up the thrust. Put the stability on. Fire. It flies! It took off. Wow. I'm amazed. I'll be honest, I thought that this would be too heavy to actually take off. But it turns out I was wrong. Look at it. Look at it go. This is, I mean, this is progress right here. Look at it. It's going like a stab rat. This is great. I mean, you probably shouldn't waste all your fuel on the liftoff, but you know, we're looking into science. This is scientific. We're working out, well, would Thunderbird 3 work? Would it have enough fuel to, fly as far as the sun, all in one go? Because that's the thing, it wasn't a multiple stage rocket, it just took off and then landed again. I mean, that was the mad thing, was you could reuse it multiple times. Now, of course, the theory is that it's powered by nuclear fusion, which we haven't really managed yet, but, at the moment we've just got lots of fuel. Look, we're going into space. There's the moon. Where's the sun? There's the sun. Sun probe's going around that right now. Probably. Of course, poor old Thunderbird 3, it just didn't get many outings in the original series, did it? It actually only did 3 rescues. It went to the sun to rescue the sun probe, and, well, it failed at doing that. Well, no, it managed to save the sun probe, but it got a bit stuck itself. It ended up plummeting towards the sun. And then in the Imposters, despite everyone's best judgment, it went to go and save Elliot, who got stranded in space, and, it managed to pick him up all right. Didn't really do very much there, but, it went to find him, and that was the main thing. And then, of course, in Ricochet, it saved, Ricochet. And, it did very well. Unfortunately, it didn't get used for much more than that. It just sort of went to go and visit Thunderbird 5 every so often. That's all it did, really. Unfortunately, in the new series, they've given it a bit more to do. Oh dear. We've run out of fuel. That's not great. Let's check the map, see how high we're gonna... Oh, gosh, we're gonna go miles. We're gonna go to there. And then where are we going to go? I'm going to guess this yellow orbit is us. That's not bad. We're going to orbit the sun. I've launched Thunderbird 3 into space and it's going to orbit the sun. Now maybe if I'd had taken a bit more time to control it better, it would have gone, you know, whoosh all the way to the moon. We could have taken it to the moon. Not sure how it would have landed there. How do you land Thunderbird 3? Carefully, I think is the answer to that. Very carefully. Well, I think this space mission is pretty much over. These guys are going to be stranded orbiting the sun for the rest of their lives, so seeing as that's pretty much all we've got, that's let's move on to something else, something a bit more spectacular. Behold! Look at the manner of beast that I have constructed here. This is the Zero X from the movie Thunderbirds Argo, and I think you'll agree that I've done a magnificent job of recreating this iconic vehicle in Kerbal Space Program. It does dip a bit at the front, but I have tested it. The weight is balanced just right to make it actually take off. Yes, believe it or not, this thing does fly, despite looking like a floppy tuna right now. Yeah, it's got an ejectable nose cone. It's got the cockpit area that does come away. It doesn't have any wheels, but let's be honest, I don't think we'll actually be going to Mars with this thing. It's, you know, got lifting bodies that detach, and those are powered by jet engines, and then we've got rocket engines over here to make it whoosh into space. So, shall we fly it? I think we shall. Let's take the brakes off to stop it rolling across the runway. Full throttle, because, you know, how else are we going to do this? Let's check that everything's good in the cabin. There's only a crew of 2, but you know, this is an inaugural flight. You know, it's you know, testing circumstances. So we've only got a crew of 2. I think we're ready to fly. It's already started moving, but let's go. Ooh, it's veering off to the side slightly. Let's steer it straight. I mean, look at the power. Look at the speed. Taking off now, because we veered off the runway, so why not? We're flipping over. This hasn't gone well. Let's hope we can recover from this. Put the landing gear in. We won't need them. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. That was a bit messy, but at least we didn't hit anyone. What's left? That fin there. You know what? Let's try that again. I'm not going to change anything. I promise you it does work. I promise. That was just a fluke, you know. That's just, you know, a slight flaw in an otherwise magnificent spacecraft. We are going to space. Let's put the throttle up and blast off. And hey, you got to skip the boring assembly sequence at the beginning. Because let's be honest, that's the least good bit about Thunderbirds Argo, is how long it takes to do stuff. This is looking better. This is looking better. It's no. There we go. Oh, she's flying level. Put the landing gear in. Magnificent. You'll notice, so it's just the lifting body's getting it up right now, so we can conserve the rocket fuel for when we get into space. Yes. Let's. Oh, it's a tricky one to steer. I mean, we're going at probably much faster than we need to right now. There's an awful lot of drag happening, but it looks cool. It looks like a spaceship from the future. What a magnificent sight, as Lady Penelope would say. I mean, it's basically it really, isn't it? It's just got to get up into space. And it will go to space. It's suddenly going very steep. but not too difficult to control. I've attempted to build Zero X before in the past, and never just been able to get the weight distribution right, but this is actually going very well. I think. Anyway. Yeah. We're going to go to the moon? We'll see. I'm hoping to get to the moon. For some reason it's going very vertical. So as we get into the atmosphere, the airflow on the air intakes is going to go down. That means we'll be able to jettison the lifting bodies. For some reason we're doing a backflip. I'm not too worried. I'm a bit worried now. I'm a bit worried. Why is it spinning? Why is it spinning? Let's jettison. Let's get the rocket engines going. That'll make it all better. We're going off course a bit. Jettison the lifting bodies. It does that. That's not a problem. Don't know why it's diving quite so. Oh, okay, we're spinning out of control. Spinning out of control. But you know, Zero X, it's prone to doing things like, you know, like crashing. It has been known to do that. Oh dear. Oh dear. We shouldn't have jettisoned those lifting bodies. Shouldn't have done. Oh, I'm forgetting. It has an ejectable nose cone, because apparently that helps. Probably more so when it gets into space. I did find that a little bit ridiculous when when the first Zero X was crashing, and Paul Travers says, the nose cone's dropping, so we'll eject the nose cone, and that'll help. Maybe someone who understands aerodynamics will tell me why that was a good idea, because to me it sounded just stupid. Yeah, still struggling. We had a bit of control there, but I'll be honest, without the lifting bodies or any landing gear, there isn't a lot of hope left for this. The fuel is struggling. I mean, maybe if I turn the engines off. Okay, now we're just a big stick, basically. A big long stick full of explosive fuel. Yeah. Actually lost one of our thrusters. Just noticed that. Lost a thruster. You can see all these markers. That's where all our stuff has gone. Bloody miles away. Yeah, and I'm not super confident about how this landing's going to go, to be honest. Maybe let's put the thrusters on. We're pointing basically vertically, so maybe we can just go back up. Except the fuel ran out. The fuel didn't run out. We still got fuel left. What's wrong? Oxidizer deprived. Yeah, I made that mistake when I was building it of not giving it any oxidizer, and then I realised, oh crap, I better give it some bits that have oxidizer in. But I wasn't able to do it all the way through because I'd already built so much stuff on it. So it does mean that it's a little unbalanced. And it does mean that we're going to crash into the sea. But hey, we can eject the MEV. That'll help. Yes, this MEV doesn't have any wheels, so it's not very good at actually being a Martian exploration vehicle. But you know, look, there goes the main body. Not sure what that's doing really. Somehow it's managing to stay in the air and twist and float around a bit. But I should have put a parachute on this. I mean, we made it a fair distance. There's still bits of the aircraft that are in the air. So that's a win. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see any more videos from the Security Hazard blog, then let me know. Let me know. They might go a bit more successfully than this one. Goodbye.